Boxing truth here. There is something missing in Felix Verdejo after another so-so performance that just wasn't very impressive. It wasn't wild. It was a little better on paper and also a little better in the ring that what transpired in the ring compared to his last couple of performances. He showed some of his skill sets, some pivots, some good hooks upstairs and downstairs. But overall, it was just not very exciting, not very entertaining to watch, as Verdejo is still developing, still a young fighter. However, this comes with the territory when he's getting so much attention, so much hype surrounding him, getting the promotional push from HBO and Top Rank. This is what's gonna happen. You're under the spotlight, so people are gonna want to see what's the hype about. Why is he being featured on HBO against no-name opponents that nobody, not even hardcore fans, ever even heard of? So when you're fighting tomato cans on the HBO platform, the hardcore fans are going to want to see what's the hype about with Felix Verdejo. They want to see some excitement. They want to see some exhilarating performances, some sensational knockouts against these no-name opponents that you're fighting on the HBO platform. Guys that are not world beaters. Guys that have mostly built up records in Mexico, like his last opponent. A guy who wasn't special. A guy who was coming forward, flat-footed. Pretty much a fight designed to make Verdejo look good. He's had a couple of those fights recently. Two of them on the HBO platform, one on the Unamas platform, and he's failed to deliver great excitement in each of those fights. However, he did record a very weak stoppage in his last fight this past Saturday night against another no-name opponent. But he got the stoppage on paper, but it was a weak stoppage. The referee pretty much just gifted Verdejo the stoppage. Verdejo was unleashing shots to his opponent, but a lot were missing. The guy was still there, not seriously hurt, hadn't even been knocked down in the fight. But the referee just halted the bout, and Verdejo recorded his first stoppage win in quite some time. It's been his first in his past 3 fights, first stoppage win. So now the fans are speaking their mind about Verdejo. Last year, when Verdejo was having some good performances, was getting highlight reel knockouts, a lot of people were on the bandwagon, perhaps calling him the next Felix Trinidad. But after 3 straight so-so performances against the type of opponents that he's supposed to look good, the bandwagon is clearing for Felix Verdejo. It's still very young in his career, but he's getting a lot of pressure. He feels the pressure. He knows he has to perform. Perhaps distractions were a factor, since he is still a young guy, still developing and maturing into a better fighter. But there's just something missing right now, and Verdejo's gonna have to find what's missing, and he has to get back to the type of performance he was having much earlier in his career. But it comes with the territory. You're gonna get this type of buzz, this type of hype, this type of spotlight shining on you when some fans and writers consider that he's being stuffed down our throats. They're going to want to see something special. And right now, I haven't seen anything special from Verdejo in quite some time. He's had some good moments in his career. He's had some good knockouts. But he's been mostly dull to me, especially his last few fights. And people are eventually going to want some answers, like, why is he getting these type of showcases against no-name opponents? You got to give Top Rank credit. They've been able to get Peter Nelson to pay some license fees for showcases featuring Verdejo against unknown type of opponents. And he's not wowing crowds. He's not dispatching these guys in impressive fashion. Verdejo is no Felix Trinidad. That's obvious. Trinidad was another animal. At 20 years old, he was already a world champion, knocking out grown men. And not just cannon fodder or no-name guys or just development fights. He was knocking out top contenders, former world champions, future Hall of Famers, undefeated fighters. And he was putting in the type of performances that made him one of the most beloved and exciting fighters of the 1990s. Verdejo is no Felix Trinidad, and right now he's not even showing the type of promise Miguel Cotto showed when he was coming up his career and all the exciting fights that he had. But it's still very early. Verdejo is only going to be 23 years old. 23 or 24 years old this year. Still some time. Still a lot of time to develop. But he's going to have to show a lot of improvement. And also, he's got to start fighting more better-known opponents to even be considered for a future date on HBO. HBO subscribers should not have to put up with more Verdejo showcases when he's not dispatching them in impressive fashion. Let him develop some more on other platforms, and when he's ready to fight at the world level, then he can receive some dates on HBO. But in the meantime, he needs to find what's going on, what's wrong with him. Where's the excitement? And also, perhaps look at his team. Maybe consider hiring another trainer. Get somebody that has more experience or has been at that level. Because if he keeps putting up those type of performances where there's just not, the fans are not really impressed or not very excited, then who knows where Verdejo will go. Maybe he won't be the star Top Rank is claiming he will be. Won't even get nowhere near the stratosphere of a Felix Trinidad. But we'll see what happens with Verdejo. He's still a young guy, still developing. He's no Felix Trinidad, but maybe he can make great improvements as he grows older and matures into a fighter. He's definitely got the look, he's got the smile to be a star, but he needs to start putting in better performances, better quality performances, more excitement. Start wowing these crowds, and especially the type in these showcases that he's been getting. So, of course, the plan is for Verdejo to grab the WBO strap in the lightweight division. He's rated number 2 by the WBO. Terry Flanagan holds the strap for the WBO. Verdejo's on his way to becoming the number 1 contender, but who knows when Top Rank will pull the trigger on his first world title shot. Maybe it could be at the end of this year or early next year. Depends on how Verdejo is progressing. As he's getting wins, he's padding his record against these type of opponents, but he's just not wowing anybody, and he's not exciting anybody. But y'all let me know what y'all think. What has happened to Verdejo? Is it the hand injury? Distractions as a young man? Does he need a new trainer? And are you still on the bandwagon when it comes to Verdejo as perhaps being one of the future stars of the sport? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.